Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and this is a vinyl finds video, and it's a special one in that I've said before that I've never found anything at a thrift store. I've been very unlucky in that. Maybe I just don't put in the time and effort. I guess you got to keep going back and time and time again. But I finally found something that wasn't Percy Faith or the Norman Luboff Choir or something like that. Although I do like Theme from a Summer Place by Percy Faith. But I actually found something at a thrift store. So I'm going to show those 4 or 5, I can't remember how many I picked up, that I haven't listened to yet because I just found them. But usually I wait till I've listened to them before I show them on my vinyl finds. And the rest of these I have. But so let's get started. One of the first ones I'm going to show is by The Alarm, their debut album Declaration, on the IRS label, which I just showed a while back. I do have their debut EP that has the song The Stand, which was a big hit. But I didn't have this debut album, which I'm looking forward to listening to. Like I said, the ones I got at the thrift store I've not listened to yet. But this one came out in 1984, and some of these this one's in pretty good shape, but some of the covers are dinged up on the corners, but the vinyl is just in perfect condition. So that's the first one. Second one is Walk on the Wild Side, Lou Reed. This is a compilation album of his on the RCA label, but since I found him at the thrift store, I thought I'd pick that up, even though I'm going to try to get most of his albums. And then I have 3 that I don't know the artist real well. I've heard of them before, obviously, but I didn't really have any of their material. But I was going to take a chance on them. The first one is Cabaret Voltaire, which this one came out in 1983. It's called The Crackdown. I guess they're kind of industrial, electronic. I don't know, I'm taking a chance on that. And on Virgin Records. Can't really see this very well. So you can probably tell me more in the comments about it, but I'm going to take a chance on that. It's not really in my wheelhouse, these next 3. But I've heard of them before, and this is Built for Sale. Before We Were Born, this one came out in 1989. I have a couple albums. This is on the, what label is that? Musician? Oh, it's Elektra, a kind of a different label. But I know he's played on a couple albums that I've had before. I think he's on an Elvis Costello one, but he's kind of in electronica, fabulous guitarist. And the other one, that's not really in my wheelhouse, but I got 2, is Tangerine Dream and the album Rubicon. Like I said, there's a little bit of, this cover's kind of coming apart a little bit, but the vinyl looks in great shape. It's on Virgin. I know Tangerine Dream's kind of dealt in electronica, worked on some soundtracks, so taking a chance on that one too. So anyway, those are the ones I picked up at the thrift store, which I'd never found anything before until yesterday. All right, the rest of these albums I have listened to. They were on my vinyl finds, and first one I'm going to show is one that I pre-ordered. It was a Tammy Nielsen Kingmaker. Tammy Nielsen's been called the diva of roots music, but she kind of reminds me of Wanda Jackson, and that she kind of has some rockabilly roots there, and it's just a great rootsy album. She does a duet with Willie Nelson, Beyond the Stars, on here. The title track, Kingmaker. I like Careless Woman, which is on here, and Green Peaches. But this, I guess it's not quite as good as Chicka Boom, I don't think. Maybe more listens, I will change my mind. But right now, I think Chicka Boom is my favorite album of hers. But this is still a very good album, her newest one, Kingmaker, Tammy Nielsen. She was born in Canada, but she's been stationed here playing in New Zealand lately. or most of her career. And her album is on this peach-colored vinyl with this cool label. It's listed as scarlet, but looks pretty pink to me. But like I said, great artist to check out, Tammy Nielsen. And then I had seen Deep Track Zach. He showed his favorite Vinyl Me Please albums that he had picked up. And one of them was this Johnny Taylor Wanted One Soul Singer off the Stax that they reissued. And I go, man, I wish I would have that. So I went and looked online, and it was pretty expensive. Then went to eBay, and most of them are pretty expensive. One guy had it at a decent price, but it was on an auction, and I bid on it at the lowest price, and nobody else bid on it, so I ended up getting it. So, but wonderful soul singer Johnny Taylor, wonderful album. Wanted One Soul Singer comes with this OB strip from the Vinyl Me Please. I was really happy to get that one. Stax record classic soul singer. Also another good soul R&B artist is the great Johnny Ace. This is a reissue of his Memorial album. It's got his two biggest hits, Pledging My Love, and The Clock on here. But Ace was a nice reissue label. And of course, most people know the story about the late and great Johnny Ace, who, people thought that it went out for a while that he had shot himself playing Russian roulette, but I think Big Mama Thornton and some of the other people, I guess, that were around there said he was just drunk and thought he knew where the bullet was in the chamber and was showing off and shot himself. It's too bad, but he had some really nice R&B songs. The next one is Wright, the great slide guitarist. This is his album, The Slide Area. This is a German reissue, so the cover looks a little bit different than some other ones. I mean, a German issue, I should say, on the Warner Brothers label. But this is a pretty cool album. UFO Has Landed in the Ghetto is a pretty cool song. There's a nice version of the Carl Perkins classic Blue Suede Shoes. And I really love his ballad, That's the Way Love Turned Out for Me, which was originally, I think the first one to do is my favorite soul singer, James Carr. But my favorite version of it is Terry Evans does it on one of his albums. And it's like Ry Cooder plays the great slide guitar on that. And he also has the same playing on his version on here. So great album, Ry Cooder. Everybody knows him. All right, the next one is kind of a unique artist, and that's Essie Rogie. And this is the sound of Essie Rogie. These are all from the 60s. And his real name was Solomon Ernest Rogers, but he went by S.E. Rogie. And it's called Palm Wine Guitar Music, which it's really fun. I guess it's supposed to be like you're sitting around drinking palm wine, which I guess is made, and you have these people they called tappers that would go up to the top of the palm trees, get this milky liquid that they made into this wine. But it's supposed to be like sitting around, just playing the guitar, having some palm wine. And to me, it kind of sounds a little bit like calypso, and I guess it was recorded in the African country of Sierra Leone. But really cool music. Essie Rogie. Oh, and there's the label on that one. It's got a big Rogie on there, which I think was the label it was on, out of Sierra Leone. It's a really cool album for something different. And then there's another thing. I had said I'm going to try to cut down on buying things on vinyl that I already have on CD or another format, because there's so many good things out there I want to get. But sometimes I do break my rule, and I did get the Springsteen album, Tunnel of Love, kind of one of his undervalued, I think, great albums, his Divorce album, but which I had on CD, but I never did have on vinyl, but now I do. But on Columbia, of course. But there's one, and the other one I got that I already had on CD, but I love the album, and that's The Beautiful South, and this is their album Choke. And is Paul Heaton, who was in the House Martins, helped form this band. It's got kind of this great pop music with some of these little bit sarcastic lyrics sometimes. Some of my favorites on this is Tonight I Fancy Myself, Let Love Speak Up Itself, and I think the answer is yes. They're the ones I would check out if you want to find out more about the beautiful South. I think they're just amazing, and this is maybe my favorite album by them. Choke. And I did a video a while back where I said the artist where I had the most records by was Jerry Lee Lewis, but there's one I didn't have, the one he did with his sister, Linda Gale Lewis, who kind of did some rockabilly and some other stuff. This is more of a lot of those duets like Jackson and Don't Let Milwaukee Here I Come. Milwaukee Here I Come is a really cool version with those two singing it. But yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis, Linda Gale Lewis on the Smash label. Although it might be a little weird, some of those songs singing it with your sister, but pretty cool album. Next, I got an album by the brilliant soul singer O.V. Wright. This is Nickel and a Nail and Ace of Spades. This album came out originally, I think, in 1967, or not 1967, 71 or 72, I think it came out. And this is a reissue on the Cairo label, and they included an extra LP of some of his hits, and also there's a 45 on here by the Sunset Travels, a gospel group. But really cool album of some of his best stuff. O.V. Wright, favorite soul singer of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so, and he's usually right. But actually, I think I first heard about him through Peter Wolf from Jay Giles' band had mentioned him, and then I checked out his stuff, and I had some stuff on CD. I have a couple albums of his, but I didn't have this classic album that has Ace of Spades and Nickel and a Nail on it. But O.V. Wright, oh, I guess I could show I don't think there's just a regular type label on here. Yeah, nothing fancy on the label. But, and that's, like I said, a reissue that just came out last year. But really good. Real Gone did a reissue as well. And next is the famous Jethro Tull album, Thick as a Brick. It just has one composition on the Chrysalis label. Side 1 is Thick as a Brick, side 2 is Thick as a Brick, so continuation, but kind of a progressive rock masterpiece by Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. And last but not least, the poet and singer-songwriter Leonard Cohen. This is his second album, Songs from a Room, has the classic Bird on a Wire on here. And on the CBS label. So that's what I picked up recently. I hope everyone's doing well, and everyone take care.